First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that? Those guys are back with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. Huh? Who would have thought? Look at us. It's your boy AJ here, leading off another episode of 3-Man Weave podcast, episode 230. I dropped something.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Ain't nothing broke. Ain't nothing broke. Episode 230. And it's that time of year. Lying season is upon us, but you can't fool us. My partner in live. Who with me?
Y'all already know who it is, your boy Hill. And Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. Let's get it. Oh, I mean, you catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. Email us at podcast.3.med.weave@gmail.com. And let's get right into it.
So why you lie on your 40 times like now?
I mean, it's funny.
I feel you. I understand. It's all fun and games, but it's our scouting report if we would have been at that level.
But it's in all seriousness though, my short shuttle or my 10-yard splits definitely would have been a good time. I was way more quick than fast, so I've always been more quick than fast at that time in my prime back then and that time. So
Julian Donaldman, of course, quick, more quick than fast. I got you.
Not
Hey,
Julian Donaldman. I just
hey, so
Hill
start off. Hill Welker, you know what I'm saying?
Danny Hillman Dola. All right, we'll keep going.
Jordan Shipley. All right. So we're gonna start off.
Elvis Landry.
Oh shit! Here we go.
All right, that's last one.
Mohammed Sanu.
Hill Beasley. Okay, that's it. That's forever.
Duke Nakua. Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. So
yes,
this episode we gonna start off with a little bit something more unconventional because I probably feel like me and you are one of the only few people that actually about to know what we're talking about. But
yeah,
we got to do it because we've had some conversations on it, and it kind of blew up over draft weekend a little bit, where somebody from a podcast that we listen to, the NFL GM, former GM podcast co-host now, Michael Lombardi, has some statements to say about Antonio Pierce when he was, converted over as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I did not say Oakland. Let's go.
There you go. Good job.
And, Antonio Pierce was talking about the Raider way. He was talking about where he was from and that's how he grew up, and it was ingrained in the culture, of where he grew up, the LA Raiders, Compton, NWA, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Lombardi took to his podcast, the NFL GM, and said just because he's from Compton, he thinks he knows the Raider way. And he went on to say more than that. Would you like to kind of go into a little bit more than what he said?
The funny thing about it is he tried to say play on words from what Antonio Pierce actually said. Now, Antonio Pierce actually did say, I understand the Raider way because I am from Compton. I grew up a Raiders fan. This is exactly what Antonio Pierce said. He said it in his press conference. You can pull it up. Cool.
Of
That's
course.
that's fine. So what Mike Lombardi tried to do is try to say you have no idea what the Raider way is, and just because you are from Compton does not mean that you understand what the Raider way. Now he said it on more than one occasion. Now that's the funny part where he tried to get his rebuttal on, where when he's getting a lot of this backlash from what this quote, because this quote could be misleading, but essentially this quote is not misleading because he said this on two separate occasions, and the second time that he actually said it was more so in the tone that he said it was, had some vitriol
Mm-hmm.
mixed in it, like, hey, shut up, stop talking. And what it came down to was, okay, boom, first time around, he said it. He like, hey, listen, bro, it's way more than the Raider way than to just say it. And he tried to go into detail of what it officially is the Raider way. If people do not know, he used to work for Al Davis, he used to be a GM for the Raiders, and he was breaking down of the Raider way is more than just talk. It's a way, height, speed, and fast, and all subjective way of trying to explain what the Raider way was. That has nothing to, neither point had either thing to do with each other. But
Absolutely.
the way that he said it was the wrong way. And like I said, this is not misleading because he said it twice.
Exactly. And I think that's where Mike Lombardi and his co-host Femi tried to kind of, let Michael Lombardi skate. We're saying, oh, he aggregated, which basically means like he took, like separate quotes and merged them together.
Mhm.
But really what this was, it was basically your complete thought, because it allows you, like, this is what you said the first time, and then this is what you said the second time, and you basically doubled down. So he didn't, it's not like he, you know, misquoted you. And maybe there's some things where it's like he should have said, and then on a second occasion Michael Lombardi doubled down. But quite honestly, it's very hard to do that in today's day and age, where you could just say, oh, this is what he said on this episode, this is what he said on this episode. But at the end of the day, these are the two things that you said. So Michael Lombardi went on to try and, well, I think it might have been Femi caping for Michael Lombardi, talking
Oh,
about,
he put on the tape.
he misquoted you. That is, journal, like, that lacks journalistic integrity, this, and that. Like, no, he used Michael Lombardi's words, and he didn't try to string them together to make it seem like you had more of a, direct attack, throughout your, quote. These are your words, and it really hit the same, regardless if you spread them out over two separate quotes or it's the same one. And so I think Mike Lombardi, he couldn't handle the backlash that came with it, and just had to kind of he just did what he could. He had to be like, oh, I didn't say this. This is not what I said, and this is not what I meant. No, it's what you said. It may not have been what you meant, but that is damn sure what you said.
Because like I said, okay, of course, we know we are in a day and age of we get quotes that's put together all the time that lack context. So
Of course.
he can genuinely feel that this quote lacked context. He can feel that way. I'm not saying that he definitely is entitled to the way he feels, because the context of it was because of what Antonio Pierce said on Max Crosby's podcast of, we got the Jordan rules for Mahomes. We know we got the blueprint on how to stop him, and they
And
beat
that's
him.
another thing he went after Antonio Pierce was saying.
First, he was like, "Shut up, stop talking." It was a lot of, see. That's the thing. Now you want to get the context. The context doesn't help you. It help your case, to be quite honest, because you went on to say he's talking too much. He doesn't know what's going on. He just got here. What is he doing? He's doing too much talking. He basically was like, shut up, and coach." Now you said that, and then you also said again. You said essentially said again, just because you're from Compton doesn't mean you understand the Raider way. And the problem with it is because what he is blaming or accusing others of doing, he literally just did this to the PFF podcast. Now, with the PFF podcast, he was joking on, him and Femi were joking on the S2 test. Now the
Right.
S that they was, oh, the S2 test. And he was like, oh, this clown Sam Munson created the S2 test. Sam Munson has already stated that he did not create the S2 test, but he is affiliated with it because it's bought by PFF. He down with the
And
team.
no,
He'll ride with it.
and not even that. There wasn't like he was created with it. Like they've discussed it and stuff, and they had the actual creators of the S2 test on the PFF show. Sam Monson wasn't affiliated with it. Like Sam Monson, they use their own data sets and stuff at PFF, but they just brought those guys on because they said, oh, we like your model that you're using, and it may actually have some stuff, because once again they were talking about how the S2 cognition test actually kind of uncovered Brock Purdy. And so when they found out, they was like, oh, we should have these guys on. But now, Lombardi, you want to have people extend you the grace that you didn't extend to someone else, and you were a lot more critical of, and you have been a lot more critical of PFF over the years. Not just about this S2 test, but you talk about their data sets, you talk about their grading system, all of that. You talk about how it's not like it doesn't, tell you anything about football, et cetera, et cetera. So why are you so, butthurt now? Sorry, Meek Mill, that people are saying things about you and taking your actual words and quoting them. You don't want, like, that's another thing. Like, if you don't want to be quoted at saying it, don't say it. That's the only reason, because he took your words. He did not misquote you.
That's the thing. I get it. Like I said, we've been through this as well in the smaller scale. But it's like you say, people see a meme and they run with it, and they don't even attempt to get the context of what the full quote came from. So, I mean, it happens. It happens in this day and age way more than it should. And I mean, I get it. I mean, if you see the comments in some of the in the comic section of some of the where it's posted at, a lot of people don't even know who he is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Michael Lombardi, the way he tries to talk down on people and the way he, speaks on others in the NFL and in the media, you would think he's like some eight-time, executive of the year. Like, dog, you've been fired quite a lot.
Hey, like I said, it's no different. Be quite honest. I know a lot of people like joke on him. It's no different from if we listen to Mike Tannenbaum on ESPN and be like, bro, we see why you got fired. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I listen to Mike Lombardi. I will continue to listen to Mike Lombardi because
It's a good perspective.
he gives a different perspective. He gives an inside perspective from being in the building. Like I say, some things I may not understand. I haven't been in the building. It's a different perspective, but that's the thing. You listen to different people so you can get your own thoughts. You get your own information and you build your own ideas, from that information right then and there. It's plenty of times I've listened to the episode and I'm like, bro, I don't know what he's talking about right now, or I don't agree with what he's saying. It's plenty of times that AJ texts me and like, bro, get your mans, like,
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like, yo, that's my man, and I'm gonna stand beside him. Like this right here is like I can't defend that because this is what you said, two separate occasions, and in the context of that, on what you said it in, definitely didn't help your case. Like I don't even think, to be quite honest, you're asking people to go back and listen to the episode. Trust me, I don't really.
You don't want them to do.
You don't want that. You don't want maybe the first one. The first one, you get away with it. You get away with the first one. The second one, you don't want them to hear that episode.
Exactly. And he is who he is.
Hey, he gonna be who he be.
You think he gonna cop the never surrender 11s?
See, that's the thing. I don't think he see. I ain't see now. You gonna put me in a position like I'm about
You ain't got to put that evil on him. But
this is my thing. Until I find out, I'm gonna ride. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I was talking about this today with our guy Deuce. Man, you ever had like a coach that you found out was a little bit more extreme than you could realize when you in your young age? Man, I found out my old baseball coach from my teenage years, he one of them extremists He one of them people that believe Obama birth certificate was fake.
Oh yeah, you
Man,
got one of them.
It broke my knees finding that. I mean, it broke my heart finding that out as an adult, man. Like, dang, bro. Like, I was the only black kid on this team. You only had me here because I could do something for you, man. You ain't really want me here. It was heartbreaking, dog.
Yeah, we had our linebacker coach. He was a stripper, but yeah,
it was Dino.
Mom's
here? Mom's here.
Hey, Mom.
He'll say, "What's up, Mom?"
So let's get right.
She named the wrong coach. She was like, "Jack," and then I said, "Dino." She was like, "Oh, I know you ain't." She was like, "I know you ain't surprised. He was."
She been new.
She been new. She ain't never tell me.
Now we can talk about
it. All right. So up next, who made the most money at the combine? I'm gonna let you go first with this one, man. Tell me who you think made the most money at the combine.
Because I'm not gonna take your guy. Your guy is definitely he's on the graphic as well. Who made the most money? I'm gonna just I am gonna take the low hanging fruit. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna take the low. I'm not gonna take the low hanging fruit and say Xavier Worthy. He made himself the most money. I'm not gonna take that. But I'm gonna go to my guy. And let me say his name right. I've been saying it all week to myself. Troy Fontenot.
Yeah, Troy Fontenot.
He made himself some money, man.
I think not only did he make himself some money, I think he put himself in a position where he could make himself a lot of money on his second contract, because the way he moved said, because they were talking about, he's probably going to be an interior guy, like a guard in the NFL. But the way he moved was like, oh, you might be able to play tackle.
Absolutely. And he's one of those ones, like, I'm not going to listen to the logic, not the player. One of them ones like Zach Martin. When Zach Martin came out, hey, they be like, hey, look, you can play tackle. You can play tackle.
You will be a guard. Like, you going to be a guard.
You can be one of the ones that guard. And
absolutely.
He's one of those players that's like I'm definitely like he's high on my list now, like for the Cowboys specifically, like because he can play guard and he can play left tackle. And like you say, with the potential of Tyron Smith moving on to another team, I'm looking at him like this is a good problem to have if he came to my team at 24. So the fact that, like you said, the way that he moved, like you say, boy, was looking like a tight end, man. Like, so he has that athletic ability that matches his tape because the technique is there.
Yep.
Like, I believe he made some money. Now, a lot of these tackles made some money, but I mean for him, because he does now, because like I said, he was more so slated just to be guard. Right. Now some teams can have him and say, hey, look, you know what? I'll take you over Tyler Guyton. You know what I'm saying? It may be, Marius Mims. We can have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, so teams is going back to their board and, taking some of their biasness away and be like, hey, look, hey, if we put him at left tackle, he can hold up.
Absolutely. For me, my first, I'm going to be biased here, but I'm going to be really biased. Every Florida State player not named Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Like, you look at them, almost every single Florida State player there kind of overshot the projections of what people thought that they were. Like, and move them up, I think, around, across the board. So like a lot of times you would hear Braden Fisk, third round pick, stuff like that. He's second. He day two. I think easy.
Like,
I think he's day two. Easy.
And for him specifically, like, I know that's your guy, and like, that's my guy too. But like, you even started to send me clips of, see, this translates on film. Just see this quickness right here. He just showed in this drill. This is on film, and so it's like his film.
It matches,
and I think his actually ability, his athletic, numbers enhance what they're seeing. And on top of that, based off what he did at the Senior Bowl, I mean him, Quinyon Mitchell, I mean, bruh, they agents gonna love them.
Yeah, they shot up draft boards, and Quinyon Mitchell was gonna be my other one, but just to kind of give
I
my
ain't mean to
guy,
take my fault.
no, you're good. But another Florida State, Trey Benson.
Oh
I don't
yes.
think I don't think anyone expected him to run a 4.39. Like he has, breakaway speed. He has a lot of long runs. He's returned kicks, and you see a lot of his touchdowns go for 50, 60 yards. He showed that at film. But 6 foot 219, and to kind of be built the way he is, for him to run a 4.39.
Yeah, he like you said, I guess especially with Jordan Brooks, his ACL injury, like you say, still recovering. I think the medical checked out for him as well.
Yeah.
But for somebody to like, there wasn't no clear cut number one. I think he solidified himself with his athletic testing.
Because he can come, because he showed that, hey, I have the speed and the size to come and be the guy day one if you want to put me in your backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, he made some money, man. It was another guy that I had. It was another guy that I had, and I cannot think. But shouts out to all you Florida State guys for sure, for sure. You did mention Keon Coleman though, and
Yeah.
he is the perfect example that we want to see. That hey, yes, the combine can make you money. The combine can lose you money as well. It is important. We're not going to say it's not important, but he is the prime example. The same exact combine of, okay, he ran the 4.6. That's not ideal. We understand. Yeah, he had some separation issues of questions. Let's say that questions coming into the
Right.
draft. So you would want to see some of his speed, and maybe some of the long speed would definitely still put into question when it comes to his separation and when it comes to the next level. But when he did that gauntlet and ran the fastest out of everybody that did the gauntlet, I mean the same Xavier Worthy that broke the combine record in this same exact drill did not run as fast as Keon Coleman. Now, once again, AJ is a Florida State fan. Like you say, he's biased. Take that for what you want. But like you say, AJ was telling me all weekend, play speed over what was you saying?
Play speed over track speed.
Play speed over track speed every day. And for him to hit 20 miles an hour at the max, running in a straight line on that gauntlet, not dropping a pass.
Yeah,
Didn't drop a pass at Florida State this season either. Like, am I right?
so,
am I correct?
Yeah, I think. Well, no, he had a couple drops, but that was late in the season. He was dealing with injuries,
Okay.
But not to make excuses for him, but
No,
that's one of the reasons why his production wasn't as what it was, because like he missed a couple games, he was playing hurt, him and Johnny. But that's one of the things. Like even before he ran the 40, I'm like, they want to see the 40, but it's like when you actually watch him play, it doesn't look like, oh, he's slow. Like he was our punt returner out there, and he broke plenty of like long punts, like punt returns. He had big playability. Yeah, he wasn't Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas out there, going, taking 9 routes to the house. But guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna get that dig. He's gonna get that jump ball. He could take a wide receiver screen and take it 30, 40 yards. He could take, those drag routes, and he has the size and physicality to do all that stuff after the catch. And like you saw him hitting 20 miles per hour while, attacking the ball. You saw a lot, like in the gauntlet, you saw a lot of receivers shading away from the ball. What do you not want to happen when you run a dig over the middle? You don't want your guy running away from the ball, trying to, ease the catch. No, go get it, catch it with your hands, and like be strong at the catch point. And those are all the things that Keon Coleman does. And I think those are things that he can do regardless of the offense that he's in. So I think he'll be fine. And I think he'll still, I think his floor is still early second round, to be quite honest. I don't think he's going to drop. I don't think he'll drop that far, even because of the time.
Yeah, he's not getting out of the second round. Let's just be quite honest about
Of course.
that. Like you said, you'd be a fool for that there. Before we move on, Lad McConkey and Roman Wilson, the same two dudes that had a great Senior Bowl, came and translated back to the combine and had a good combine. For him to have the same measurables as Garrett Wilson was hilarious to me because they play totally different. Like
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson plays like he's 6'4". Like
of course.
you know,
He's one of those 6 footers, like I say all the time, Jamar Chase. Everybody think Jamar Chase is 6'2", 6'3".
yeah,
Like, man,
but
that
like
dude might be 5'11", dog. But
Phil,
they play above the rim, and they play bigger and stronger than what you really see them as. And so, Lad McConkey is the slot guy, but he's not Wes
he get
Welker, Julian Edelman, and
it.
those guys. He moves. He can move.
And like I said, he's getting the reverse racism that racism was the wrong word. He's getting the reverse prejudice
Get
that's
that Cooper, he getting that Cooper
that Cooper
DeJean
DeJean,
treatment.
yeah, he's getting that treatment, and like I say, okay, cool, okay, you're going to be wrong. Like I said, if you think otherwise, you think he's just going to be a slot guy, and hey, you can very well draft him and put him in the slot and be totally fine. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but he
saying?
could play that outside.
But like I said, you can put him in the slot and just leave him in the slot, cool. But like I said, you can get him in that system where you can move him around and you can get you one. Same for
Absolutely.
Roman Wilson. For somebody that came into an offense, he's gonna remind you of he listen to the logic and not the player. Nico Collins was the same way in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that you see in it from Nico Collins, you ain't see that in Michigan State on that Michigan State in that hardball offense. Like we
That
know
hard booty.
like they trying to win, bro. They ain't
Yeah,
they ain't trying to get no stats. You know what I'm saying? They trying to win. And all power to them. So once again, you see what Nico's doing now in Houston with the real quarterback. You're like, okay, cool. Okay. Nico looking like, okay, he looking like one of the ones, number one,
absolutely.
number one receiver. I'm not saying Roman I'm not saying he may be a number one in the league, but I'm just saying he's gonna show teams once he gets to this next level some things that you ain't see on film.
Absolutely. And I got one more before we move on, because he kind of, put a claim to things, with the number one guy not being there. And that's Theo Johnson, man.
Oh, tight end, yes, oh for sure.
6'6", running a 4.59, and he has some good film out there, and not one of the more pass happy offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these tight ends that have come into the draft that have like really hit haven't been like your round one guys. It's literally just been hey, who's big and who can move. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what Theo Johnson is, dog. Like, if you get him in there, he's big enough you can put him in line. He's tall enough that's like he's just going to be a matchup nightmare. And again, 6'6", running a 4.59, you can split him out wide. You can isolate him to a side, and you can eventually get him in line. And it's like seeing that'll play. That'll make you some money. I don't know
Now,
if he's going to be one of the top guys, but I think he did move himself up the draft boards a lot to put him in that conversation behind or in competition with Jatavion Sanders.
that's the name I was searching for. I knew I was gonna say Texas tight end because I couldn't remember, but it's Brock Bowers and then who?
Exactly, and that's what I'm
So,
saying. So I feel like you know all of these guys have their faults. So he can solidify like Benson. Not he has his faults. Not Brock Bowers, but Jatavion Sanders. He
yep.
like
Jaheim.
Jaheim Bell, he's undersized, and so it's like, hey man,
We'll talk off air.
all right, cool.
Because we'll talk off air.
Okay.
Uh, anybody you want to say that lost some money? Or we just gonna stay positive?
I'm gonna stay positive. You know me, I ain't trying to say none of these dudes lost no money. I know it's possible, but
That's why I asked. I'm like, let's stay positive, stay positive. But man, we got like I said, it's line season. We got a lot of things that's coming on, a lot of reports that's coming on. And I forgot. Matter of fact, before we get to fully lion season, but I do want to talk about that. Matter of fact, we'll talk about it because I forgot to give you the graphic, but I'll make it and we can talk. But I do have a pick your poison.
Oh, okay.
You believe in some of these Justin Fields rumors?
Yeah, but I just don't know which ones to believe because we got them from both sides. We got it ain't no trade market. We got
Mm-hmm.
4 teams interested. So to
Mm-hmm.
me, I believe that there are teams interested because I've seen teams interested in worse quarterbacks. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
to me, I wholeheartedly understand that there is a trade market for Justin Fields. The only thing that the Bears are running into is it ain't the trade market they want. That's why you keep hearing, oh, the Bears could get as high as the second round. You've heard at times, before the combine, oh, the Bears could field a first for Justin Fields
Mm-hmm.
because they lying trying to get that out there to make it seem like they're getting that offers. And you got other teams saying, hey, dog, we know y'all got to take a quarterback. Y'all showed y'all hand. So since we know y'all taking a quarterback, why would we offer you, the sun and the moon?
The precedent has already been set, though. We seen this situation not too long ago when they came with Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold. Like, we know you was going to draft Zach Wilson or a quarterback. Let's say that, and you know you was moving on from Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got multiple picks. One of them was a second round pick, and there was a slew of other picks as well. What has Sam Darnold done? Absolutely
Not a
nothing.
not a damn thing.
Not a thought.
But
Not and at the same time, so that's the precedent. That's the foundation. That's the compensation right then and there. The reason why I started off with that part, it was we've seen another situation when we knew somebody was on the trade block. His name was Jimmy G when it came to the 49ers. And they said they had a second, they said somebody offered them a second round pick and they didn't want to accept that at the time. And what happened? All those other teams moved on. Every team that needed a quarterback in that offseason moved on. And the 49ers were stuck with Jimmy G. And they had to bring him back and say, you know what? We just gonna keep you this year. Blah blah blah. Now he ended up playing, ended up getting hurt. Boom, that's how we got Brock Purdy. Cool. It worked out for them to a certain degree.
right,
But for them, but essentially they got nothing for Jimmy G because they were being greedy.
of course.
Another reason now the Falcons owner, believe it or not, came out and was like, hey, look, I ain't playing around with none of these other quarterbacks. I need a veteran quarterback this year. I want a veteran quarterback. Cool. That's why there's rumors that Kirk Cousins is going there.
Yep.
Cool. So this is my thing. You rather go for Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles than give up a second round pick for Justin Fields? What would you do?
To me, going after Justin Fields, I would go after Justin Fields for the simple fact that it wouldn't prohibit me from drafting a quarterback either. And so I feel like you go for Kirk Cousins, the money that you're like going to be putting into Kirk Cousins, you kind of have to go all in. I'm not saying that's a necessity, but I feel like you want to be able to go. Like if I draft Kirk Cousins, I don't want to draft a quarterback because I feel like I need to start putting stuff around him to make sure that we are able to field the best team possible so we can maximize what we have in Kirk Cousins. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I go for Justin Fields, you have I won't say a low risk, high reward, but you do in a sense because you're not inputting tons of money into him where it's like he's taking up a large amount of your cap on a short term deal because of his age. And then you still have the opportunity to be like, hey, look, in the event that, in the draft, the quarterback comes along that we like, it doesn't prohibit us from taking them. Like, say, Michael Penix falls to you, JJ McCarthy falls to you, you like Bo Nix, or you go down, later down the line and say, hey, Spencer Rattler, let's take a, something like that. It doesn't prohibit you from doing those things because it's just like, hey, we know Justin Fields has played football in this league. Zach Robinson, he comes from a system where it is quarterback friendly and he can put the quarterback in a position to succeed, but also whose floor is higher with the talent that you have also, because does Kirk Cousins give you a higher floor and a lower ceiling, and Justin Fields gives you a higher ceiling and a lower floor. So it kind of also depends on what you want as a team, front office, organization, top down. So you kind of have to weigh those options.
But this is my thing, and this is we haven't figured out the Achilles injury in the NFL yet.
Oh, of course. I
Like
100% understand that.
like
But
like matter of fact, we haven't figured out the Achilles injury in all sports. Like Kobe was the one that came back and was Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
KD, he had his moment. He's had his moment.
KD's wasn't Achilles.
Yeah.
KD's wasn't Achilles. Okay,
Yeah.
but he sat out a
KD's
whole and he was a
2
whole
years.
year. How many years?
2 years. But he came back and he's been like,
And he came back and he's been KD, but what you just mentioned, it took 2 years
right.
for him to get back to being KD. So we've seen two people that we've seen that come back to return to form from the Achilles injury. Okay, boom. Kurt game is not built off athleticism.
And that's the thing. If you sign Kirk, you really have to go all in ensuring that your O line is going to be able to hold up and protect them, because again, we don't know what his Achilles is going to be, but you also already know he ain't the most mobile to begin with, and so you don't want to have him, a true, light pole back there, and defenders know, all right, I got to get to this spot, and I got it.
See, that was the thing. See, I understand. Like I said, on a vacuum, yes, Kirk Cousins is better than Justin Fields. He definitely. But the thing about Kirk Cousins is he's recovering from an injury. That's my
Right.
thing. It's like I'm
Right.
not so sure that I want to be the team that's ready to be gung ho about putting all my eggs in the Kirk Cousins basket when I have an opportunity, a cheaper option that's still on a quarter, rookie contract that I could have still built around. That doesn't stop me from doing other things. And on top of that, cool. Okay, cool. What about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I got a place for Russell Wilson. But to me, Justin Fields makes too much sense. But I think Russell Wilson is also that veteran that you should go for, because again, I think his market has really collapsed on itself because of kind of like the impression of what he was in Denver. People still talking bad about him and stuff like that. But we know Russell Wilson is still going to be a veteran quarterback. He is going to be able to make a decision. He is still he's not fairly. He is still mobile, not Seattle mobile, but he can still do those things. And, you putting him in a dome for what, 12 games a season? No, probably 10. Because he's playing in New Orleans too.
Yeah, okay. I said, what did he talk? But this is it. This is my thing in regards to Russ. Money shouldn't be an option, but like I said, the issue. No, you're getting $40 million regardless from Denver, regardless. So you can essentially go sign that minimum to another team and help that team out to do what they need to do. But it's like your reputation is taking such a hit.
Yeah, of course.
Like it's like, do you really? Now, I get it. He's a football player, competitive. He wants to win. I know. I get all that. I get all that football stuff. I get all that. But if I'm his man, and I'm in his corner, I'm like, bro, do you really want to potentially take another hit? Like, I would advise retirement, to be quite honest. I'm not saying that he can't play. I'm just looking for a reputation standpoint of. I'm dead serious too. Like, I'm looking at it because think about it. You just caught it. You a sympathetic figure now because the way Denver did you, and everybody's back more so on your side of, okay, Russ, they did you wrong. But how fast can that turn? The same way they can turn on you the moment you play bad, because we seen everybody talk bad about him that first year when he got to Denver when it was nasty. Like everybody, it was bullying at the highest level.
And whole time, like Nathaniel Hackett might have been the worst head coach we've ever seen.
Absolutely. And then, but like I said, and then on top of that, so then when he came in, people were like, yeah, Sean Payton, he's gonna straighten them out. So cool. You kind of got your reputation back in order. But let's say, for example, you go somewhere else. Like me potentially, I got him going to the Raiders.
Russell Wilson, yeah, I can see that because I think once again it's a veteran presence, and it operates as a bridge kind of to the next guy.
They too far away
Yeah,
in the draft right now
to get
without
to get who they want.
mortgaging their future to trading up. So in my mind, they might can stay put and get one of these. I mean, maybe ain't no Connor can develop, later on,
Right.
but you know, it seemed like if for somebody, the team that needs a quarterback, if somebody that has a starting job, what better way? What other team? I mean, you can see Minnesota if Kurt leaves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Minnesota was going to be one of my options that was in there also. But I did just kind of let me just bounce back to Justin Fields real quick.
Okay.
To me, I don't understand why Atlanta wouldn't do this, because with the disappointment that they had last year,
Mm-hmm.
bringing Justin Fields, who played at UGA, who's from the area, and you have a new coach, you have all these weapons. This is
Mm-hmm.
going to bring excitement back in a sense, because he is an exciting player. He's one
Mm-hmm.
of the best. Like, he, at minimum, he is one of the more exciting rushing quarterbacks we have in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I have faith in the system that Zach Robinson is bringing. He's not going to forget that Justin Fields can run like they did up in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pair him with a Bijan Robinson in the backfield. At minimum, you have a Baltimore Ravens-esque run game.
Mm-hmm.
And that will play. And then you have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts. You could possibly bring in some more guys in this draft class who can, run, because we saw a lot of guys, put up some nice times. You can easily rebuild this offense into something that can be very, very formidable, especially in the NFC South. Like, to me, it just makes too much sense that you could bring in excitement, you could bring in fanfare, and you could bring in a competent, running game at minimum.
Hey, everything that you just said, I 100% agree with. But on the flip side, if you are off the blank, you be like, hey, listen, bro, since Matt Ryan, who's been my quarterback? What has been going on? Like, we didn't try we didn't try this. A young quarterback. We didn't try a bridge quarterback. We didn't try this. If we have an opportunity, I'm just using his logic. If we have an opportunity to get a top 10 veteran quarterback on the market, I'm going after him.
Yeah, I get that.
But it's the same off the blank that just said last year we ain't going
We're
after
not going
Lamar.
after Lamar Jackson.
So,
But that's every owner, and that was every front office, and that was so weird.
but could he have learned from his mistake? Could he say, "Hey, look, we had an opportunity, albeit whether realistic or not, we had an opportunity to go get one, we missed. Here goes another top 10 quarterback that's available. Let's not miss again. And somebody that wants to come here, let's handle business." So I can see that. But and also, remember it was floated around that when they got the ninth pick, they should trade whatever pick they have in the first round. Whatever first round pick should be traded to the Bears for Justin Fields. What if Brian Poles called and asked for that? I'm hanging the hell up.
Yeah, of course. Like,
So back to my original statement. You could be overplaying your hand for no reason.
but also, this is also lion season. I don't think Ryan Poles like said, "Hey, we want the ninth pick," and was doing any more than just a starting point. I don't like. To me, how can you ask me? How can you ask me for number 9 when you don't even want number 1? Justin Fields, of course.
That's the thing.
So I think it's like I think it's just more negotiation. You get what I'm saying?
Cool. Okay, cool. What about some? We play fantasy football, right?
Mm-hmm.
somebody sends you a trade, and of course, it's one of the most outlandish trades, lopsided. It's like, why did you even send this?
Absolutely.
Right? And you say, bro, I hit decline. It's nothing to talk about. On the flip side, all he was really trying to do was start negotiating.
Conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
but you didn't. Hey, you said, "Oh no. I'm not having no conversation with you. You just sent me that right there. We have nothing to discuss. That happens. That happens.
Of course, it happens. It
So it
happens.
could happen. Like I said, it's lion season. Who knows what can happen? But I'm wary of the fact that okay now. Okay now.
Yeah, time. We know time is ticking, and
because how many teams need a quarterback that's not in position to draft one?
I'm trying to think. So let's go through it. We got Falcons, Patriots,
Raiders,
Steelers. Steelers is up in the air.
Steelers already said they ain't going for none of that.
What's this episode called?
Lion season.
All right. Denver Broncos.
How often do the Steelers lie?
I know. I understand that, but it still is.
The fans lie.
Right. It's the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Vikings, most likely, if they end up losing Kirk.
You see that? Look.
What?
The thumbs up was on your screen. I don't know how you did that.
Oh, for real? Damn, I wasn't even paying attention.
I know.
Vikings.
It ain't gonna work now.
Bro, when did it?
Yeah. It's okay. Keep going.
I hate this shit.
But you just said it. You just said how many teams, right?
Yeah.
So are the Vikings a realistic option? Trading them in the division?
Oh, absolutely not. Well, they might not be sold on him, and they'll be like, all right, here, we think he ass. Here, take him.
Cause I do think that is the last resort. It's like we have to get him up out of here.
Yeah. But okay, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
This locker room, DJ Moore has been very vocal. Has already been said, I want Fields. A lot. That's your number one wide receiver right then and there. Already saying I want Fields. So hey, and I'm pretty sure it's other members of the Bears that like Fields and still want Fields. So,
hey, but we've seen that plenty. But guess what? Fields there, Fields ain't there. That check still go cash.
Yeah, but like I said, you don't want it. You don't want the controversy. If you have an opportunity,
but here's my thing. Here's my thing. What's really the difference? Because the controversy is still kind of there because you like Caleb Williams. If they draft Caleb Williams, Caleb Williams still gonna come in knowing, damn, you want Justin over me, dog. And if everybody say he the diva that he ain't gonna forget that, is he?
That's a good point. But I'm on the same. Hey, I'm on the same wavelength as the Commanders need to be trying to change Sam Howell for anything.
Anything, exactly. Because if you get in a quarterback, I mean,
no. If you're getting a quarterback, say it.
If you're getting a quarterback, you might as well because nobody's more popular than the backup quarterback. So your top pick have a bad game. They're like, see, we should have just kept Sam Howell. Like, not just go ahead and get him out there. But I will say Sam Howell is cheap enough. And we've seen that, he showed enough that he can be a serviceable, backup if anything were to happen, especially if, they try and, go for the super high upside and go for skinny Jaden Daniels, stuff like that. But you never, our guy Bomani said it, don't ever have no white quarterback backing up a black quarterback.
So you had, so he was a 5th round pick, right?
Yes.
Like I'm saying, hey, and they have a lot of draft picks. Right. Anyway. Like I said, if you have a rookie, I'm of the mindset of if you have a rookie quarterback, you need a veteran backup anyway. Yeah, like I said, what do you learn? Especially if you go, let's hypothetically you get Drake May, right, bro? Why are we both in the same locker room?
Of course.
And like you said, for a team like Minnesota,
mm-hmm.
that could possibly lose Kirk, you go give up a 4th round pick, and you have 2 of them. A 4th round pick for Sam Howell And the things that you did with some of them quarterbacks last year,
I definitely think Kevin O'Connell will be able to work with Sam Howell in the way, that, we seen that, Eric Bieniemy kind of
we seen
work
positive.
work to his strengths and, kind of do something positive with, the talent that they had. So I think Kevin O'Connell will be able to do some really good stuff with Sam Howell.
He's a starting caliber quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I would say he's definitely one of the best 32. So of course.
Take that, like I said, take that for whatever you want it to be. Like I said, I ain't saying he could be great. I ain't saying he a Pro Bowler. I ain't saying he is a starting caliber quarterback.
He wanted a better 32.
And with the positive things that he showed last year and the things that Kevin O'Connell did with some of those quarterbacks that he had last year after Kirk Cousins went out, he can work wonders with him.
Course.
And the same thing, if I'm Atlanta, if I'm the Raiders, a lot of these teams that's in the field in the market for Justin Fields should be doing the same exact thing with Sam Howell. And if that's the case, then you need to hurry up and move Justin Fields before that market dry up. And if that market dry up, you do not want both of them in that locker room. That's gonna be nasty in Chicago.
100%, 100%. And I think even if we're talking about just kind of getting a veteran presence, isn't Jacoby Brissett a free agent too? Like, I think he's solid enough where some of these teams could, like that are kind of, down the draft board, like the Raiders, who aren't high enough to necessarily maybe get one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring in a Jacoby Brissett and JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, stuff like that, they do not have to start right away, and you have that bridge quarterback, and you have a guy who understands, hey, I can, come in, I can start, I can win you games, and in the event that you want this guy to take over, I understand. I've been there before, and I can play that role.
I think that's the game plan that the Patriots are trying to take. I think I seen a report, take forward that he may go back to New England, just in case if they don't take a quarterback, or if they do take a quarterback, let them sit, because that team is nasty.
Yeah, and because that team is nasty, to me, that's the place for Russell Wilson.
That's exactly why I said his ass should retire. Do not take your ass to nasty ass Boston with those fans up there, and you stick it up because that roster is nasty, and you putting out bad film again.
But my thing is, if they go ahead and get them and say they don't draft a quarterback, and they, go ahead and get Marvin Harrison Jr., I at least know Russell Wilson will be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. It's Lions season, but the front office said, they've been shitting on Bill, saying, hey, it's a new day. We got this cap space, and we gonna spend this cap money. And so I feel like, hey, Russell Wilson, you are the aw shucks, let's go get it guy kind of quarterback that I think you wouldn't ruffle too many feathers up in Boston. They may hate it when you sign, but I think you come out there and you do a couple good performances, and you throw a couple deep passes, which we know he can do, to Marvin Harrison Jr. They will be like, all right, we got something here. And again, beat the Jets. Just beat the Jets, and you will be okay for a little bit, dog.
Before we move on, is there any hope? Is there any hope for Mac Jones or Zach Wilson
to be on the team that they are?
No. They getting up out of their team.
Okay.
But it's like, do you see any potentially trades? Or I don't see a trade for Zach Wilson at all. I believe
I don't think a single team will give up any draft capital for Zach Wilson. I think a team would be like, man, I will use a 7th round pick before I'll use it on Zach Wilson. I think that there is still some hope for Mac Jones. Again, like you said, you would send a 4th for Sam Howell. Why wouldn't Kevin O'Connell do that for Mac Jones? Because we have seen Mac Jones in his I think it was his rookie year. Seemed like, okay, it was something there.
You know, I was hot. Yeah, I like
Right.
that.
And so Kevin O'Connell could see the same thing. And guess what? They saw what they did with Kirk. Mac Jones, like his rookie year, might have been like, okay, I can kind of see a little Kirk, trajectory there. And then you give him a Justin Jefferson, a Jordan Addison.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He might be able to look a little bit better in that Kevin O'Connell offense than what he did last year. And so I think, again, it's another low risk, possible high reward situation. And again, it doesn't stop you from trying to bring in a rookie either.
I can see Zach Wilson getting cut, and I can see him going to the Rams.
Yeah, I can see Zach. That's funny because I said I can see Zach Wilson getting cut and going to the Dolphins because he's got the arm talent. He's in the division, and hey, guess what? He throws far enough to get Tyreek Hill the ball. I'll tell you that.
I mean, but they ready to give Tua a contract extension, so you know.
Yeah, they ready to give to a contract extension. So he stayed healthy last year, but you still got the concerns. So it'll be cheap. And
Yeah.
it's plenty of moms for Zach Wilson to be down there in Florida to keep him occupied until he got to put the clipboard down.
All right, man, before we get it, buddy. Shouts out to our guy Dane Johnson. Gave us some predictions, man, about for the free agency, man. Like I say, and based off this list, he put in some work, man.
Yeah, I really like this list. I do. I really like this list because I think a lot of these make sense.
So let's talk about a few they got on this list. What stands out to you?
Chase Young to the Browns. I think the Browns, they've constantly, hey, who can we put, across from Myles Garrett? They went the Jadeveon Clowney route. They went Zadarius Smith. Chase Young, I think it falls in line again where you bring someone in who has the high upside and the potential to do that, and it doesn't stop you from trying to, bring in a draft body, a draft edge rusher to also play that part. So Chase Young is one that stands out to me, and also Gabe Davis to the Chiefs. I think that one stands out to me also because it's like I think it kind of makes sense because again, we saw them go to the Super Bowl and win it with Juju Smith-Schuster.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them go ahead and do it last year. So it's just like, hey, Gabe, you are a big play, big body receiver, something that we really haven't had, of that caliber. I'm not asking you to be Mike Evans. I'm not asking you to be Devontae Adams. Hey, just try and catch the ball more than MVS.
I could see more so of a Darnell Mooney going to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I can don't get me wrong. I can still see Gabe Davis going to the Chiefs as well because playoff Gabe, he can fit right in, do what they do. It kind of it fits the mold. Of course, you can see Tyrus Smith to the Chiefs. First thing I said when they figured out they couldn't figure out the contract negotiation with him, I said, "Yep, going to the Chiefs."
I left that one for you specifically.
Yeah, because I just had and I hope he goes to the Chiefs. Like it's one of those ones. Like I know you don't.
Okay.
But I don't. But like, of course, I don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys legend, future Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Go get you one, my brother. The Chargers and Saquon is I have a question about because I don't think that they're going to spend money this off season like we think. I think this is going to be the year that they clean up some of this cap issues. They are already starting to release a couple players, and Austin Eckler is going to be gone. I can see them, of course, like I said, Jim Harbaugh is going to have a fight in the draft room between drafting Blake Corum or Frank Gore Jr. Like, one of them will be in San Diego. I mean, not San Diego, in LA.
You did it.
I know what somebody had to do it. It's a lot of steam that Saquon may be going to the Texans. I like that move a lot.
Yeah.
I think Saquon will have depending on where he go, I think he's going to have that Christian McCaffrey effect.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have that Christian McCaffrey effect. Like you said, he doesn't have to have the team on his back. He can go to a place and be a good role player. Be the shit. He'll be the one in this offense. But like if they still have the pieces around him, that it ain't all on Saquon or bust like it is in New York. If Derrick Henry leaves, I have him going to the Ravens. I just do.
Yeah. I do as well.
He got Kirk Cousins staying in Minnesota. Of course, he got Chris Jones staying with the Chiefs. They didn't franchise him, so I think they gonna work. They know what to do. They gonna work that out.
Yeah, I agree with that. You want to go to the next slide?
Yeah, he got Russell Wilson going to the Steelers, man.
I just don't see. I don't see Russell Wilson going to the Steelers because I just don't. Can you tell me? Do you see Mike Tomlin coaching Russell Wilson?
I do.
I don't.
I actually do. I actually think that he would coach him very well. Actually, because I think he know how he how to communicate with his players. So I do think that he would know how to handle this Russ. Like this version of Russ. He would know how to handle it. And I think he would fit very well if Kenny Pickett wasn't there. Kenny Pickett is there. And
as long as Kenny Pickett's there, I don't see them going for a quarterback that's going to walk in like a veteran quarterback that's going to walk in and start.
Like they have a built-in excuse, and like I say, hey, Matt Canada was that damn bad. Like he was that bad. So we don't know what we have in Kenny. We got Arthur Smith now, who's he was a good offensive coordinator. Let's see. Let's put him. I know one thing they can't do. They can't bring Mason Rudolph back.
Oh, absolutely not.
They can't do that at all. So
no.
So I mean, but the report already came out that Steelers don't lie to me. Steelers don't lie. They ain't going off of none of these veteran quarterbacks.
Anyway,
he got Josh. Go ahead.
How you feel about Tony Pollard going to the Eagles?
I don't believe it. But I wouldn't feel absolutely no type of way. I mean, Kellen Moore's there, so he would understand the offense that I guess he's trying to implement there. To me, it'll be a stupid move on the Eagles, especially how DeAndre Swift played with them last year. It's a no-brainer if you're going to bring anybody back, just bring Swift back.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Tony Pollard went there, I won't wish him the best, because he's going to the divisional opponent. But I really don't know what's the market for Tony. I don't know where he's going to go. Like I said, me personally, if the price is right, he can come back. But I don't know where he's going. But him to the Eagles and them moving on from DeAndre Swift, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
From that standpoint.
Yeah, no, I get you. I don't know if he was on here, but Christian Wilkins, where do you think Christian Wilkins is gonna go?
He wasn't on neither one of them. Oh, so. Yeah. That's the dilemma. He should not be on this market. Should have been franchise tag. They should have got the deal done when all the other defensive tackles got their deals done. You're gonna hate it, but y'all have cap space. He should be a Bengal. Y'all need a 3-tech. He should be the number one target on y'all free agent list, in my opinion. But that's probably not going to happen. For him, been in Miami. Like, I don't know. Like I don't know, because I the reason why I don't know, because I did not expect him to be on the market like at
Yeah.
all.
So for me, I think this is where, like, to me, again, I want the Bengals to do it, but I don't believe the Bengals were going to do it because I think he's going to want that top of the market deal,
Yeah, he's
and it's well deserved.
the same exact deal. Dexter Lawrence, Jeffrey Simmons, and all those dudes they signed like he was supposed to be one of the ones to get the two.
But
So
what do we always say about football players? Where you and I always disagree. You want to go somewhere to win. I say go get your money.
oh, absolutely, yeah, get your money.
Chicago, man, they need a whole like they need all types of defensive line. But and you saw when they brought Montez Sweat in, it kind of helped. You bring in Christian Wilkins to that defense with that cap space that you got, and then you got pick 1, pick 8, and you hit on some of these draft picks. Again, you went 7 and 9. This could be one of those worst to first, like not I can't say worst to first because they weren't worse, but this could be one of those teams that like, oh, y'all in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like that, and that'll make up for them passing up on Jalen Carter last year.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like that move a lot. I like that a lot. And like you said, the team is not trash.
Yeah, like they have some pieces, and
Mhm.
this is one of those things where it's like you can infuse some veteran. Like, man, you put, you know, Montez Sweat and Christian Wilkins next to each other, that there already is tough. And then just think about what they could do on, the offensive side there. Say, if they even if they, they can bring in another defensive end at pick 8. Who knows if Dallas Turner's going to be there, like Atu Latu, Jared Verse,
Mhm.
something like that. You can get you a corner, Terrion Arnold, or whatever the case may be, or you can go, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas, something like that, and do those things that I say do. Make a strength a strength.
That's definitely a great. I just Google where he's from.
Where are you from?
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Ooh,
Who you said? See, that ain't gonna work either. They got Christian Palmer.
yeah, they would need a one. They would probably need a one tech.
They would need a
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
So that don't even make fit. Um, Cleveland.
yeah. I've been saying what they need. They
They
need
need
more
somebody.
bodies up front.
They
So
they need somebody opposite of Miles Garrett, but like you say, put somebody in the middle.
that makes
They
it even harder. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm trying to think.
with the
Yeah,
money.
man.
Um,
What about the Colts? Colts been looking for some defensive line help, and they'd be losing Grover Stewart.
yeah, but Grover Sewell is a one tech. Technically, they still got DeForest Buckner. Um, like you say, how
Yeah,
would that work? Um, hey, stay in the division. Houston got money, right?
Houston definitely got money.
You pay him with Will Anderson. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He gonna
Hey,
get he gonna get paid.
yeah, he gonna get paid.
It's just the fact that I'm surprised that they let him go. Was
You think
surprised.
you think he'll want to play next to Max Crosby?
Hell yeah.
That's a place to get paid.
I mean, hell yeah. To make his job a lot easier.
And that's what I'm saying. So I think it's some options out there. You don't necessarily. Kelsey jumps onto a flaming table. Oh, dude's crazy. It's some
That retiree.
Yeah. Jason Kelsey jumped onto a flaming table.
Shouts out to him, man. And matter of fact, that's the perfect way to end the pod, man. Shouts out to Jason Kelsey. He has retired. Illustrious career. First ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? He
I
definitely
think I got a hot take.
go ahead.
My bad. I ain't gonna cut you off, but I think he's going to be a second ballot Hall of Famer intentionally because Travis Kelsey gonna retire next year, and they're gonna be on the same ballot going into the Hall of Fame.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Uh at the end of the day, man, that's the testament of how great a player is when he played in the when he played on one team his entire career. But once a divisional opponent, how they feel about this person lets you further know how great the person is, man. Like you say, Jason Kelsey is one of them ones, been one of them ones. Shouts out to him, man. So like you say, illustrious career. Podcast probably blows up even more now. Hopefully he doesn't join TV because we don't need him on TV. Right, to be quite honest.
Unless he go to Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's the only place that he's going to be allowed to
Pat
go.
McAfee or Barstool, one of them.
There you go. His pod, like I said, his pod, and then weekly appearances on Pat McAfee is the only place that he's allowed to be on mainstream media. But yeah, shouts out to him, man. What you got? Somebody breaking news?
Nope, we good. I'll tell you off camera because we got to research this one because it's funny.
All right, I'm Hill. That's the Michael Penix do-rag, AJ. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'm glad I had to rep for the homie.
You know what I'm saying? So you holding it down. Y'all the fours. Y'all can catch us on the playback. I appreciate y'all when you catch it on the playback.
Like and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you catch us all major podcasts, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _. Email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm here. That's AJ Candy somewhere. And y'all the fours. And we are out.